In this video, we're going to be reviewing the Taylormade M4 Hybrid and whether or not it's worth picking up. Okay, so what we're covering in this video are my first impressions of the hybrid, how it performed for me, who it's going to be best for, pros and cons, and also where the best places to buy. So if you just are looking for the best and cheapest place to buy, I will leave a link in the description down below. At the time of this video, that was the best place we could find it, so you can go ahead and check out the current price if you want to go ahead and do so. But let's start with my first impression. So the M4 is basically the new and improved version of the M2, and it's going to be more forgiving than before. So it apparently had like a deeper center of gravity than before, and that's going to help with the launch. So it's going to be a higher launch than before. That's kind of what this deeper center of gravity will do. And then it also has a longer speed pocket than before, and that's supposed to help with helping with increasing ball speed and that kind of thing. So those are kind of the things that I was told about this club and all that kind of stuff. So how about looks? The head of the previous M2 was like a white color, and now it's more gray, which I definitely like a lot more. And I did find it to be easier to align properly with the gray, so that was one thing I liked about it. And also the head is bigger than the M3, and it's almost like hitting like a smaller featherwood almost, which a lot of people will like, myself included. The M3 is more like it's definitely smaller, so it's more like hitting it's almost more like hitting a long iron that obviously it's more like a hybrid, but the M4 is more like a smaller featherwood compared to like a hybrid. And I guess that's because by having a bigger head, it's going to have more forgiveness in it, and a lot of people are better at hitting their featherwoods than they are with their long irons, so that's kind of why they made it like that. But some lower handicappers probably would prefer the M3 since it will have more workability with the ball, so it'll be easier to like draw and fade the ball, that kind of thing. But how did it perform? Because that's the only thing that really matters is the performance of the club. But since I have a slower swing speed, I did have better results with the M4 hybrid over the M3. If you do have a faster swing speed, the opposite would probably be true. So I think if you would have a faster swing speed, you'd benefit more from the M3. So that's just one thing to note before you actually go out and purchase this or any other hybrid for that matter. And the distance, also the accuracy was really good, and it was fairly easy to hit. I definitely noticed it was a lot easier to hit than the M3, just because it's bigger, had more forgiveness. And compared to other different hybrids out there, I did find it easier to hit than most. I wouldn't say that it was my favorite, but it was definitely near the top of the list. And yeah, that was pretty much, I definitely did like the performance. The distance was good, the accuracy was good, the forgiveness was good, it felt solid, all that kind of stuff sounded good. So I would say that I definitely did like the performance. So let's just talk about who it's for, who it's not for, kind of thing. But in my opinion, these two clubs are for different things. So the M4 is going to be like your go-to club for getting out of bad situations, and would benefit more like your mid to high handicaps. So if you're in like thick rough or that kind of thing, and you can't really you struggle to hit your long irons, this would be a good club for that. And then the M3 is more like your precision club and would benefit like low handicappers. So if you are in a good spot and you want something that is going to be in between your wood and your iron, and you want something that's going to be a little bit more accurate, and that you can maybe put more workability, put more draw on, put more fade on, that kind of thing, the M3 would probably be a better option. But let's cover some pros. So in my opinion, it does sound and feel a lot better than the previous M2 hybrid. I did have a bit more distance with the M4 just because my swing is a little bit slower. It produced more spin, and that's why it had a bit more distance. Obviously, if you have a faster swing speed, I think you'd benefit more from the M3. But I found it really easy to hit, and it was definitely consistent. So that's one thing I definitely liked about the M4 compared to like the M3 or like the M1 or even some different clubs. It was fairly easy to hit, and it was definitely better than a lot of other hybrids out there. And it was a great club to get out of bad situations. I definitely like that a lot. And let's cover some cons. So there are no like adjustments with it, so there's no like sliding weights. It was a fixed thing, so you can't adjust the loft of it like you can on some other clubs. Pretty much is a standard thing. And I think I think that's what a lot of, most average golfers need. They don't need all that, complex stuff. They just need something that's going to, be forgiving, that's going to give them the distance, and I think my club definitely does it. But if you are someone who likes to customize their clubs, I would say this probably isn't the best option. And then low handicaps would probably get better results, or like, distance, that kind of thing, with the M3. And then it's not the best when it comes to workability, because it is more like your fair wood compared to an iron. Obviously irons are going to have more workability with the ball, and the M3 would be a better option when it comes to that. But overall, a few cons obviously, but let's just cover the breakdown. So performance score, I'll give it a 10. I definitely did like this for myself. It definitely performed really well for me, and I definitely did like it. Price score, I'll give it a 7. It's there are more expensive ones out there, but obviously it's not the cheapest, so it kind of, it's a 7. There's worse, there's better. Sound and feel score, I'll give it a 10. It sounded a lot better at impact, and then also felt a lot more solid as well, so I definitely did like that. My personal score, I'll give it a 9. I'd probably 9.5, 10 if the price was cheaper, but obviously with all the benefits that it's going to give you, that's going to result in a higher price. So overall, 9, pretty darn good. So is it worth it? Taking into account all the pros, all the cons, I did really like the M4, and the performance was pretty much just as good as anything else out there. Now, it wasn't perfect by any means, and it wasn't my favorite or anything like that, but it was definitely probably in the top 3 for all the different hybrids I've tested, and I've tested out multiple different ones, so it was pretty much just as good as anything else out there. So if you are like a mid to high handicap, I would definitely recommend this club. If you are like a lower, maybe with a faster swing speed, I might recommend the M3 instead. So if you do want to know the cheapest place to pick up this club, I will leave a link in the description down below. At the time of this video, that was the best place we could find this product, so you can go ahead and check out the current price if you want to go ahead and do so. But let's just talk about our golf giveaway here. If you want to enter into our monthly golf giveaway, simply follow the instructions below. Number 1, subscribe to the channel. Number 2, comment giveaway below. Simply do both those and you'll be automatically entered into our monthly golf giveaway. Alright, so that's going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you have any questions about the club down below, and we will see you in the next video.